it's that time of the week again. Overtakes, cold browns, crashes, we had it all. It's Leckers, and I'm Parquet. Let's get into it. Clip number 5 here. A user submission from the admin himself, Mr. Robin Williams. His tier 2 is Bathurst, and Puma Maverick with a bit too much horsepower in the force elbow. Heads up play by Laquera and Slayer to avoid collision. Clip number 4, we're in tier 3 back at Maggiore. Snaky coming into turn 1, pulling off the double overtake. Having to do a little bit more work here with JPEG Gaming, but he's eventually up into P10. We love to see it. Clip number 3 is tier 4 at Nuremberg Ring. King Tazo with a huge blunder into Swedencrotz. I think Death Incarnate has something to do with that. Clip number 2 is tier 5. We're back at Nuremberg Ring, and it's Toph avoiding the chaos here as T-Han and Upright Fork come together. That's Toph into P4. Clip number 1, the final clip of the week. We're again back at the Nuremberg Ring. It's T6, and we're on board with Eric right now as he looks for not 1, not 2, but almost 3 positions off the line as him and Blade Runner fight for P2. Eric will settle into P3, but if you don't love that, you do not love SMA Racing. Folks, it's Leckers. Again, if you want to see your clips, submit them to me, and I'll see you next week. It's been Parquet, and I'm out.
Welcome back, race fans, to round 7 of season 2 Road Rage. Coming to you live from the iconic Watkins Glen. It's your main commentator, Flawed Genius Gaming, holding the circus together with nothing but caffeine, chaos, and a questionable amount of confidence. And joining me tonight, stepping into the co-commentary hot seat, it's the legend himself. It is Hugh Hattrick. If things go off the rails, he's here to keep me honest, or at least pretend to. Now, we are in this wild season. We've had 6 rounds, 4 different winners, and Deacon is now sitting on 3 wins, which is honestly starting to get suspicious. The man is driving like he's allergic to losing. Panic Potato, Wolfie, and Richard have all fired shots. These championship standings, well, tighter than the gap between bravery and stupidity at the bus stop chicane. And here we are at Watkins Glen, an absolute classic. High-speed sweepers, heavy braking zones, walls that don't forgive, and a track that punishes mistakes faster than I roast bad strategy calls. This place demands precision, guts, and maybe a wheel in the glove box. But good evening, Hugh. Great to have you back. And are you looking forward to this race today?
I certainly am, and good evening everyone. It's great to see you all, and what's been a fantastic championship so far with these brilliant cars. The Roadster Rampage, what an amazing car that is, and here at Watkins Glen I'm sure it will be full of exciting overtakes and plenty of drama tonight. So yes, I'm thoroughly looking forward to it, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely, and great to have you back with us today. But before we reveal the race details, it's important we mention our sponsors for Season 2, as without them, none of this would be possible. So SMA is brought to you by Simulator Cave, South Africa's haven for all your sim racing equipment, selling only the highest recommended products from the likes of Fanatec and Moser, as well as racing cockpits for that perfect driving experience. Link is in the description below.
TJSE Cape Town Golf Academy, the hotbed of nurturing young potential to golfing greatness. An academy with a breadth of history for producing talent on the world stage. If you feel you have what it takes to become South Africa's next global star, TGSE is the place for you.
Postnet Midstream. Aside from the endless business and personal possibilities, Postnet brings something extra: heart and connection. With quality printing, shipping and design services, Postnet shows that it's not just about business, it's about people. We're not just any print and ship shop, we're your people.
Right recruitment. finding the right people just got easier as they handle everything from A to Z sourcing, screening and matching top talent that fits your business perfectly. Save time and cut the hassle and build a stronger team with right recruitment, where the right hire is always the right choice.
And DC Designs, where imagination meets reality, from custom home decor and lifestyle products to specialized gaming and sim racing accessories. DC Designs uses the power of 3D printing to craft items as unique as you are. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind gift, personalized collectibles, or gear to level up your sim rig, DC Designs has you covered. Turn your ideas into reality with DC Designs.
And Coach Dave Academy is the trusted name in sim racing, offering world-class setups, data packs and coaching to help you unlock your true potential in GT7. And with Delta AI, the leading GT7 telemetry app, you'll get easy-to-use race data analysis, instant tips to race faster online, and AI-powered coaching that highlights your weaknesses to improve lap times with ease. Compare your laps with the pros and take your sim racing to the next level with Coach Dave Academy.
And racing fans, we're fired up to welcome our newest sponsor, which is Slayer Energy. Homegrown in South Africa, it fuels your focus, hits hard and still tastes smooth. That's how Slayer does energy. Their motto is death to dull, and trust us, they live by it. Bold flavours and zero boredom. Slayer, crushing the norm, fueling the madness and keeping every lap electrified. And thank you so much to all our official sponsors for the whole of SMA Season 2. SMA is in association with Motorsport South Africa, the only organisation licensed and fully backed by the FIA of all competitive motorsport inside of South Africa. Now, once again, we do need to thank our SMA production team for making this broadcast as one of the best out there for South Africa. So a huge thank you goes to Dana, aka Lucky Mistake on Twitch, for all her amazing work you've produced for our graphics that you can see on screen. Also as well, big thank you has to go to Parquet713 for his efforts in producing all the promos, the intros and the recap videos that have been presented this season in SMA, and will do so for the rest of the championship. Please check out their links and support them as only the SMA can by following and subscribing to these amazing individuals, please. Also, please contact Robin Williams, our SMA GT7 promoter, for any inquiries for future SMA tournaments coming up in 2026 and beyond. Email links will be in the description below and on our YouTube homepage. So, with all the credits said and done, let's take a look at the rest of the race calendar for this season. Hugh, it's over to you.
Right, well, tonight the drivers are heading to the United States for the penultimate showdown at the legendary Watkins Glen, a high-speed circuit that has tested some of the best in racing history. And finally, the season reaches its thrilling conclusion on November the 24th in the neon-lit streets of Tokyo East Clockwise, where the title will be decided and the new SMA Season 2 champion will be crowned. So that's our racing lineup for the rest of this season. Let's take a look at the details for tonight's race. It's at Watkins Glen, and here are the details. It needs no introduction. Drivers from around the world respect it, challenge it, and occasionally fear it. It's Watkins Glen, the legendary US circuit. Now we're going to have 28 laps. There are 15 turns, and tyre wear is, according to this, we've got the racing softs and also the racing mediums, and tyre wear is 1 and 1, I think it is. So we have to use both sets of tyres, and refueling speed is times 20. So when I drove this car earlier today, I have to say it can be smooth on some corners and very tricky on others. But what a track. It's famous. The drivers love it. And let's see exactly what's going to happen. We've got a 10-minute qualifying session, a grid start with a false start check. We have 28 laps, soft and mediums, and initial fuel is 60 litres. Let's take a look at what our competitors are driving. The Roadster Shop Rampage. I was saying about this car, it's the kind of car that your son who's just passed his test, if you lived in America, would come home and say, "Look Dad, I've just bought one of these." and you'd say, no, you haven't. You're not going to drive that one. It's an absolute beast. It is true to its name. The car looked mean from every angle, and it has a 7-litre LS7 tune to produce 739 horsepower, mounted to 5.1 inches rearward to improve weight distribution. It's a bit of a monster. Can the drivers tonight make the most of it, or will they fall prey? We'll have to wait and see, Sean, but it's going to be incredible. This is going to be a fantastic combination.
It is indeed, Hugh. And thank you for all the race details for today's round 7 at Watkins Glen. So we are going to head to Parquet, who was reporting trackside on last week's sixth round race in the SMA Season 2. So let's take a recap from that race in Tier 1.
Let's take a look at round 6 of SMA Season 2 Road Rage. This Australian affair started with Deacon getting right to it.
As Deacon goes around the outside and moves past Nutcap into first position. Penny Potato will be on the inside of Nutcap. Nutcap not with the best of starts, but he has got nose in front, and Penny Potato will tuck back in into P3.
A lap later, Nutcap will come right back at him.
Nutcap, it looks like Nutcap is going to take the inside line. Deacon is going to afford him the space, and Deacon is going to tuck back in second position. So Nutcap is the new race leader.
Dana alerted us to some big news in
P7. We have Captain Slow go into the grass. We got overtaken by Savvy and Kennels.
Deacon's moment shook up the top 3.
So the gap is just around a second. As it looks like Deacon made a bit of a mistake through the corner there. Struggled to get the traction down. Panic Potato thought, right, we need to take the inside line to move up into second position.
And Savvy's penalty opened up the battle for the midfield.
And Savvy just picks up a 1 second penalty.
Penalty. Sorry, go ahead.
Wow. So Savvy, just picking up a penalty at the wrong time, and that means he's going to have to serve that penalty at this midpoint of the straight. It's the sort of the worst place to pick up a penalty. So JDJ is going to power pass. Captain Slow is also going to power pass, I do believe. Yes, he does. Savvy left in the background, loses 2 positions from that mistake.
A drama fest formed in lap 11.
As it looked like it was a fish that struggled to get on the power there, and now under increasing pressure from the 3 drivers behind, could the gap come dwindling down as we approach the chase? Surely Savvy will get later on the brakes, make it stick as well. He goes a little bit wide though. It's touch and go. And he's struggling to keep hold of that car as well as Captain Slow tries to get around him as well. We may have to look on the replay of that action there, because that was very scribbly, as Giller has made up 2 positions to move up into P11, with Ray Carter coming into the pits from P9 there. Certainly at the back end of the grid, it's a drama fest right now.
The drama continued on lap 19 when Richard began his final push.
Very, very close now. Richard really on fire at the moment. The gap is 0.4 of a second and closing. Looks like Richard is going to try and size up an opportunity on the mountain. No. Maybe he's going to go up the inside then. And looks like he's going to make it work, but it does mean that Nutcap is going to have the slipstream to Richard in front then. So Nutcap, of course, on the lesser grippy tyre on the mediums as we go through to turn 2. Nutcap is going to try it around the outside, but that is not the optimal line, and he had to back off, scrapes the wall on the outside, and Richard can breathe a sigh of relief as he now takes second position.
As usual in SMA, things ended with the bang. Dana, Flawed, bring us home.
The gaps.
Nutcap!
Wow, I was just about to say that this race is starting to widen up now, but Nutcap has just made a hell of a mistake there. 3 wins and 2 race victories in a row in this championship. As he comes around the final corner, it's going to be TNR Deaky that wins round 6 at Bathurst in the Amuse S2000 cars, with VSR Richard coming across the line in second position. Puma Nutcap is going to round off our podium with his first podium for TNR to come across the line in P3. VSR JDJ will finish in 4th position with TNR Panic Potato in 5th. Thank you, Parquet. So these are the classified round 6 results from Tier 1. So it was TNR Deacon who recorded back-to-back wins for the first time this season, adding to his victory at the beginning of the season, has made it 3 wins from 6 to put him in a strong position for the title. VSR Richard returned after his week out, was back on form to produce a stunning P2, but knows he needs more of the same if he is to challenge Deaky for the title. Continuing his great form was newly named TNR driver Nutcap, recording a back-to-back podium for himself. VSR JDJ marked his return in Tier 1 with a brilliant P4. Then it was TNR Panic Potato who finished in 5th, and VSR Nitro Merlin performed a fine display of racing with his best result of the season to finish in 6th position. It was fantastic to see TNR Captain Slow return to form after a few quiet races from him. Finishes 7th ahead of VSR Kennels in 8th, also performing much better from his nightmare at the Green Hell. In 9th was Puma Bridges, with TNR Ray Carter rounding off our top 10. And it was a day to forget for both VSR Fish and TNR Savvy, who were involved in a spot of bother. They finished in 11th and 12th respectfully. And it was also a bad day at the office for VSR Giller too, who'll be looking to put it behind him for today's race. VSR Wolfie was busy catching fish at the lake, so he wasn't around for round 6. He should be back for this week though. So how does that affect things in the standings after 6 rounds? So TNR Deacon has extended his lead at the top to his teammate Panic Potato to 24 points. He knows if he can finish higher than those around him in the standings, surely he'll be confirmed SMA Season 2 champion before we even start round 8. VSR Wolfie still holds 3rd, but with VSR Rich's fantastic P2 in the last round, he's closed in to just a single point down in 4th for 1,951 points. Then it's TNR Nutcap up 1 position to 5th, who leapfrogs teammate Savvy in 6th by 9 points. Then it's the battle of the mid-pack where TNR Captain Slow holds 7th position, just 2 points in front of VSR Kennels, who drops to 8th, just a single point in front of teammate Nitro Merlin in 9th. Then the battle of the bottom sees VSR Giller in 10th, just a point in front of Puma Bridges in 11th, with VSR Fish a further 10 points behind in 12th, and TNR Ray Carter a further 9 points behind in 13th. And VSR JDJ playing catch up in 14th, who will be encouraged from his 4th place from round 6. But with just 2 rounds remaining, so much is at stake. Every position could make the difference for this season. So good luck to all the drivers in this crucial round of the SMA Season 2 Road Rage. We'll be back in a few moments time, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, the start of our 10-minute qualifier ahead of our 28 lap race here at the Watkins Glen. Back in a minute. Forgot to delete that. SMA is brought to you by Simulator Cave, Postnet Midstream, and Slayer, our official sponsors for SMA Season 2. SMA is brought to you by TGSC Cape Town Golf Academy, Wrights Recruitment, DC Designs, and Coach Dave Academy, our official sponsors of SMA Season 2. Okay, so we are back, and I think we've got about a minute to go until qualifying. So yes, the drivers just putting in their final checks in and their final bit of practice, and I have to say the liveries looking absolutely spectacular out there. I've just been absolutely admiring VSR Richard's livery, or I think it was Wolfie's livery, but of course the VSR drivers have been using it for the team's livery today. Hugh, I mean, you know, it's great to have you back again, and you know, I was mentioning before the break actually about this Slayer competition. So, you know, is there any liveries that has really impressed you out on grid right now?
Well, I have to say they're very, very impressive. The TNR drivers are very good, and also the VSR drivers as well. But I do like its nut cap. I quite like that yellow patch that he's put on the boot of his car there, and the whole kind of livery that he's got. But there are so many brilliant designs when we're going through. It's going to be a hard job for the I'm going to say for the stewards to be able to pick out a winner there, because they are. I mean, the design it, they've got all the different colours, and they've done some great work. So yes, I think though it's going to be a tough choice as to who's going to win. But I do like Nutcap's design there. It stands out. It's a bit different to the others, but they've all done a fantastic job.
Yeah, they certainly have, yes. Yeah, this is, of course, Watkins Glen, and I feel like this qualifying session and also the race, it's going to be absolutely vital for the drivers, not only the drivers at the sharp end of the grid, you know, vying for that title, but also maybe those that are competing for the podium. It's so tight in the championship right now with just 2 rounds remaining, Hugh. This qualifying session is going to be so important, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it's going to be crucial, because these cars, they need to be driven very, very carefully, and one little mistake could lose you 3 or 4 tenths, and then that could be down at the bottom of the places. So you really want to try and do your best, especially in these last 2 rounds, which, as you say, are so important. There's nothing in it really in the championship. One bad finish and you could be right up there. So every driver will be very wary, I think, and they need a good, reliable result tonight, but ideally at the top of the field and not at the bottom of the field. But no, it's going to be very tricky. I think it's going to be a master of who can master their concentration to keep the car on the track, because I think this car could be pretty tricky with its weight transfer. So we'll see how the drivers get on, but I'm sure it's going to be enthralling for us to be able to commentate on.
Yes, indeed. And the driver that we're looking on board with at the moment, TNR Deacon, he is currently leading the championship by 24 points. So he knows just one good result could cement the title, his title hopes for season 2. Panic Potato, his teammate, is currently in 2nd position, and then VSR Richard, well, he did miss the last round. That will count as the dropped round for this season. There's only one dropped round for the whole of the championship. That will be decided on the at the end of this round, leaving round 8 free to then determine who is going to win the championship. So VSR Richard knows anything but a win will not be good enough in his hopes of claiming the title for season 2. So we're expecting big things from VSR Richard as well, but can the likes of Panic Potato stop him, and particularly Deacon? Can he show that masterclass of racing where it's just too good for the rest of the grid? We're going to have to wait and see. We are already 3 minutes into this qualifying session. It's a reasonably long lap here at the Watkins Glen, so I would imagine that it'll be one hot lap back into the pit lane to then change onto new boats, and then maybe another possible lap. But we're going to stay on board with Deacon. There are a few drivers in front of him, but Giller comes across the line with a 1 minute 44.3. And then VSR Wolfie with a 44.0, Kennels with a 44.2, Fred with a 44.6, Savvy with a 44.2, Wolfie still on pole position because Fish with a 44.9, and then coming across the line, Deacon comes across the line with a 1 minute 43.9. VSR Richard is on pole position with a 1 minute 43.754, and TNR Captain Slow sandwiched between the pair of them with a 1 minute 43.9. So the times have come in thick and fast, and at this early stage of qualifying, what are your thoughts, Hugh?
I'm absolutely riveted to see Captain Slow up there. Look at that, 0.030 behind VSR Richard. A fantastic run, and Richard so far getting that pole position, but will he manage to keep it there? They're on their second qualifying lap as we watch at the moment, so it's all to play for, but a great start with Richard, and Dickie's not far away.
Yeah, indeed. And a few surprises up the grid as well. Ray Carter finds himself in 5th position with a 1 minute 44.1. Then we got Savvy in 6th position, who is, he's one of the drivers that has decided to come back into the pits and get on to them new soft tyres. Then it's VSR Nitro Merlin, just 600th of a second down in 7th position, with VSR Kennels just 200th off of his teammate in P8. And then 7,000 separating Kennels to Giller in 9th position. Puma Bridges finds himself in 10th with Fish in 11th. Nutcap, that's a bit of a surprise, in 12th position right now. And Pallet Potato also down at the back of the grid in 13th position. Now, I think we are missing one driver, and I do believe that is JDJ that is missing, so not 100% sure why he's not here today, but yeah, we've got a grid of 13 drivers, so a lot of the drivers coming into the pit lane. Ray Carter released on circuit now, he's on his outlap, and it looks like Savvy is going to be one of the first to go on to another hot lap. Then currently in 6th position, he is just over 4.5 tenths down on pole sitter VSR Richard, so a little bit of work to do, but nevertheless it was a good banker lap from Savvy to start off with, but yeah, certainly a bit of a tall order for the drivers at the back of the grid, particularly with the likes of Nutcap, although Nutcap has already set his time actually, so he has been promoted up into 2nd position, 1.5 tenths down on VSR Richard with that 1 minute 43.903, but yeah, certainly Paddy Potato, we're kind of expecting him to rise up the grid, and currently finds himself in P11. That's a little bit surprising, Hugh.
Yes, the field is certainly, we've got some great surprises and some great performances. I'm watching Dickie there in 4th place at the moment, and he's roughly exactly 2 tenths, just over 2 tenths off Richard's pace, but he's doing a good lap, so will he be able to go any further up? But great from Nutcap, he's shown that he can absolutely keep up there, and of course Captain Slow is still in 3rd place, and Wolfie's not far behind Deacon as well in 5th. But yes, it's as they're just getting these extra laps, they've only got 3 minutes to go to complete it. Will there be any more changes, or is it going to tighten up, or will it remain the same? They're going, some cars are going very, very wide. Dickey went very, very wide going round the right-hander there. Hopefully that won't have invalidated his lap, but he might have dirty tyres. So at the time, the pressure is perhaps getting to our different competitors tonight. We'll have to see, can they hold on to get a good result here?
Oh, well, TNR Savvy was able to improve up into P4, dipping beneath that 1 minute 43.948 for him. So certainly the time's very close in the top 5. He's just 8,000th of a second quicker than Deaky in 5th position. So we are talking 2 tenths separating the top 5 drivers. Yes, I think most of the drivers will be on their last stint, maybe the final 1 or 2 laps. So yeah, this is definitely crunch time for the drivers now. It does look like we are starting to see a pattern, and Deacon actually goes purple through sector 1, who will be inheriting that slipstream of his teammates of Panic Potato, and I think it was Savvy as no, it wasn't Savvy, it was I don't know. I can't say. Ray Carter? No, not Ray Carter. But Ray Carter is coming up to the penultimate turn of his second stint now, as he gets around the final corner. Very important to maximise the track width and not hit the wall on the outside, of course. As he comes across the line, he's not going to improve there, and still trying to find the right driver behind. But yeah, TNR Deacon, he knows this is going to be a vitally important lap for him as he does a round off Panic Potato, still in 11th position. So we will keep an eye on this one here. But yeah, TNR Deacon currently P5. He needs about 2/10 of a second. Well, he is 1.5 purple right now. So looking good. If he can continue on with this momentum, surely he's going to get pole position here as he drops down to P8. So this is going to be vitally important as he comes across the line. He sets a pole position with a 1 minute 43.727, 2.5 hundredths quicker than VSR Richard in a second position, as it looked like Nitro Merlin went a little bit quicker there in the background. It's very close. It's P11. There was a bit of a collision also as we came across the line there, but yeah, he's certainly looking like, as Nightcap goes straight into the wall there, he's currently in P3. It looks like most of the drivers have put in their lap times. TNR Captain Slow up into P5 as well, so can he go a couple of positions better? Let's see here, as it looks like he's got enough time to put in this lap. Also as well, we've got Fish just in front of him. I think he's in P13. Yes, he is. So he's at the back of the grid, 1 second down on pole sitter Deacon then. So can he improve? He will need to improve by at least 4.5 tenths if he is going to supersede Panic Potato, who is a position in front of him. So Panic Potato might be well, they're all close together actually. So where's Panic Potato? I can't find it. I think he's just behind. So we'll stay on board with Fish. We've got Captain Slow just behind as well. We'll see if he can go quicker. But Fish needs to pull this one out of the bag. He will not be wanting to start on the last row here. So really needs to get these last few corners right. He's 2.5 tenths better after sector 2. He needs another couple of tenths if he is not going to start in a 13th position. So what is going to happen here for Fish as he comes around the final turn now, and can he improve? He does by 7 tenths up into P10, and then P13. Panic Potato doesn't improve. He's going to be starting at the back of the grid. Big shock here at Watkins Glen, Hugh.
Yes, that is a very, very big shock. Compared to the top 10 are just 3/10 of each other, which is an incredible result. Very, very close indeed. But well done to Deacon and Richard and Nutcap, who are on the top 3 starting out tonight. But what a fantastic qualifying session. It's going to be very close. But what this does mean is I think there are going to be a few places changed over when the race starts, because there's literally nothing in those qualifying times. So it's going to make it even more exciting.
Certainly is, Hugh. Okay, we'll be back very, very shortly, guys, with the qualifying results. SMA is brought to you by Simulator Cave, Postnet Midstream, and Slayer, our official sponsors for SMA Season 2. Okay, so just to classify our Round 7 Tier 1 qualifying results. So it is TNR Deacon saving the best to last. He's going to start on pole position with that 1 minute 43.727. We are talking just over 2.5 hundredths of a second quicker than VSR Richard. This is going to be the crucial battle of the season, to be honest. They're going to be starting on row 1. That is VSR Richard, right next to TNR Deacon. On row 2, we got not Puma, it's TNR Nutcap, starting from P3 with a 1 minute 43.903, and starting alongside him in 4th position will be VSR Kennels, who finished just 200th of a second off of TNR Nutcap. I need to get used to that. Then on row 3, we got TNR Captain Slow, just 3,000 separating him and VSR Kennels for P4 and 5 respectively, with VSR Giller back to form, starting on row 3 alongside Captain Slow, 6,000 separating the two drivers. Then on row 4, we are talking 5,000 separating Giller to Wolfie for P6 and P7 respectively, with Savvy Unchained just 11 or even 100th separating Wolfie to Savvy for P7 and P8. Then starting on row 5, we got Puma Bridgens, the last of the drivers to get beneath that 1 minute 44 with that 43.993. Starting alongside him will be VSR Fish from 10th position. On row 6, we've got TNR's Ray Carter and VSR Nitro Merlin starting alongside him, with Ray Carter in P11 and Nitro Merlin in P12. And then starting on his own from row 7, it's going to be TNR Panic Potato. And what a very, very close qualifying session we've just seen here, Hugh, with less than half a second between the whole grid.
That's incredible. I mean, that you should take a photograph of that. I think that's an incredible championship stat, to be able to see those cars so close together. I mean, it's thousands and thousands in it. It's really an amazing run, and this is a track where you can overtake. So I'm quite sure we're going to see some great battles tonight, and a great kind of effort by all the drivers. And I can't wait for the lights to go out and to get started, as we're going to see, I'm sure, a historic battle and a great championship, a great race tonight.
Indeed, as we await the 5 red lights, as we await to start round 7 of SMA Season 2 at Watkins Glen, and away we go. And Deacon does get a good start ahead of VSR Richard, who is to the side of him, but Deacon is going to sweep in front of him. Kennel's already up 1 position into P3, with Puma Nutcap down into P4. Then we got Giller up a position as well. Wolfie down to P6, Captain Slow P7. They are side by side as we go up the straight. It looks like Giller has just hit the wall though, and he's going to lose speed, and around the inside and outside, should I say, Giller will get overtaken by Captain Slow, and I'm going to have to save the replay of that one as it gets a little bit messy in the background. This one just clattered the wall, not 100% sure, but Fish up a couple of positions as well, up into P9, Ray Carter P10, Paddy Potato P11, Nitro Merlin P12, and Pure Bridges at the back of the grid in P13. But it's certainly a very fast and frantic start as Deacon looking to pull away from VSR Richard, currently half a second between the two of them, with VSR Kennels keeping pace with them in 3rd position. Then VSR Wolfie in P4, just in front of Puma Nutcap in P5, and Giller, well, he's managed to get up 2 positions again to P6. So a lot going on this first lap, Hugh.
Absolutely. It seemed like when I first looked, Wolfie had quite a good start, but then he got distracted with other cars and he's lost a couple of places. But certainly then we've also got Captain Slow, who's down in 8th position, and so he lost a few places there as well. But it's very, very close as they're all battling to get these positions as early as possible.
Yeah, indeed, and I will want to catch the replay shortly. Something happened in the midfield pack, and because they were all punched up, couldn't quite see the positioning of all the cars, but I'm pretty sure it was Gillard that actually made the mistake at the bus stop chicane, so or as they call it, the inner loop at Watkins Glen. So we're going to quickly have a look on the replay and see exactly how that transpired. So we ride on board, or was there a slight bit of touching between Nutcap and Gillard? I'm not 100% sure, but of course he was surrounded by cars as he tried to get back up to speed, and look how close it was going in to the inner loop, and he dived down the inside. Savvy had the outside line and the overspeed, but he went sideways over the curb, and that was where Gillard was able to retake that 6th position, with Savvy having to tuck back in 7th. So yeah, action galore in this grid. Actually Gillard has just picked up a 1 second penalty for his troubles. Nutcap was sizing up an opportunity on VSR Wolfie in P4, and VSR Kennels, who is started off brilliantly in P3, but yeah, certainly there is a big battle going on for that 4th position, but Giller is going to lose time because Savvy is going to come powering through, and in fact Savvy was taking a penalty too, so it is VSR Fish up 5 positions to P7, as we just saw. Who was that going wide? That was Nitro Merlin, wasn't it? So I'm not 100% sure. It is all kicking off here, Hugh. Literally, you know, look away from the screen for 1 second and, you know, they're dropping like flies.
Yeah, and Wolf is up to 3rd. He's had an amazing battle through with those couple of drivers that got Glara Brown and Captain Slow got big penalties, and Wolf has managed to really gain from that. He's up into 3rd place.
And in fact, it was Ray Carter that went wide there, so he moved up many a position, but lost it all on the hill. That was, yeah, a little bit unlucky there for Ray Carter. But yeah, certainly very, very close between so many drivers. And as you mentioned, P3 for VSR Wolfie then, as he tries to fight off TNR Nutcap in 4th position. So Kennels has lost 2 positions down into P5 then, and yeah, I mean, they are literally squabbling for position like their life depends on it. I mean, it's crazy, but with just 2 rounds remaining in this championship, they know how important this part of the season is, and yeah, they are literally fighting for dear life. So yeah, it is how it is. Actually, Nutcap has made the move on Wolfie then to move up into 3rd position. So yeah, very, very tight between Nutcap and VSR Wolfie. Wolfie still very close to the back of Nutcap though, so he could challenge Nutcap if Nutcap is not careful, but VSR Richard will know that he needs to stay to the back of Deakin. He can't let Deaky streak away, because we know with TNR Deaky, once he gets into that position, it's very rare for him to make a mistake. So VSR Richard will know this, and he will need to stick to him like glue. So definitely them two are starting to peel away. Nutcap P3 just in front of VSR Wolfie in P4. Then we got VSR Giller in P5. Panic Potato has moved up 6 positions from this race, so having an absolute storming start to this race. He's got VSR Giller firmly in his sights, with VSR Kennels now has been demoted down to 7th position. So from his early initial great start that he had up into the heady heights of P3, now down into P7, Hugh.
Yes, it's big changes, isn't it? It is one little mistake, and all of a sudden you'll find yourself at the back of the field. But it's very, very close though at the top. In fact, you've got lots of bunches of cars that are trying to peel away. Now, Deacon at the moment is just 7/10 ahead, with Richard not far away. Well, sorry, 7/10 behind. But it's very, very close. And Nutcap too is holding his own in there. So it's very early stages, but I think we could still see a lot of good overtakes and people who are struggling at the back maybe getting some places.
Yes, indeed, yeah. Well, we are talking literally 7 cars, I think. In fact, more than that. It is so close. I mean, we are talking Giller in P5, Panic Potato, who is challenging Giller for that 5th position as he tries to stick his car on the inside. Wasn't afforded the space. Here comes VSR Kennels around the outside with the overspeed, and surely he'll take that P6 away from TNR Panic Potato. But Panic Potato tried the old switcheroo. Didn't work this time, so Kennels will settle in P6 just behind his teammate VSR Giller in 5th position. But certainly I'm sure Panic Potato not done here. They are literally bumper to bumper with VSR Fish just behind as well, 0.6 of a second down in P8, and he's got a swarm of cars just behind him as well. So we will need to stay on board with this battle for the time being, because we are talking about half a second separating the 3 drivers. VSR Kennels looked to show a nose up the inside, but thought better of it. Panic Potato looking for that perfect opportunity where getting on the exit, he needs a good traction out of the exit, which he does, but so does Kennels, and so does Giller as well. So Panic Potato losing a little bit of ground to the VSR drivers in front, but certainly doing a very good job with Fish starting to close in on Panic Potato, so actually showing that Panic Potato didn't quite get the exit that he would have wanted. But as we go into the inner loop to the outer loop, Panic Potato has closed in on them drivers, so certainly one to keep an eye on, but then certainly Fish as well, staying in touch of the three drivers in front of him, with Savvy Unchained also just a second down in 9th position, then Nitro Merlin just behind in 10th position. Captain Slow also within grasp of the drivers in P11, and Ray Carter also in tow with them, with just Puma Bridges that seems to be, he's picked up another half a second penalty as well, so his race going from bad to worse. 3 seconds in the deficit between Puma Bridges and Ray Carter, so if Bridges is not careful, it's going to be a very lonely race at the back of the grid. But yeah, we are talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars separated probably by about 2 to 3 seconds, so you cannot take your eyes off of this one. And then certainly as we look at the sharp end of the grid, we've still got only 3.5 tenths separating Deaky to VSR Richard, with Puma Nutcap trying to stay in tow of him, but just outside of that slipstream range. He has got VSR Wolfie for company in 4th position, and then we've got that gap between the rest of the grid. So a very fascinating early start to this race, Q.
Yes, I've been watching as Richard really pulled that gap into Dickey on the last lap there. He managed to get at least half a second closer, and now as they come towards the bus stop, it's going to be very, very close here. But some great racing. Look at the battles right the way through the field. Yes, there's a little bit of field spend, but not much, and it's all to play for tonight with this fantastic battle between first and second, and then right the way through the field. I can't wait to see more overtakes.
Yes, and something I've just noticed as well, and thank you, the Vitches, for pointing it out as well, was TNR Captain Slow has picked up some damage to the car, to the front aero of it, and yeah, that is going to be costing him a little bit of time, and certainly it's going to make the car a little bit tricky through the corners. I mean, the car is pretty difficult through the turns as it is, but certainly that could unbalance the car, as the car will tend to understeer a little bit more, I think. So yeah, Captain Slow is trying to fend off TNR Ray Carter, and starting to lose the gap to the cars in front, where he's still in that slipstream, but 7/10 of a second at the moment. Savvy Unchained is right at the back of it, and it's just going to be very interesting to see like how they're going to pick their way through the grid here, because it is so close between all of them. It's insane, to be honest with you.
It certainly is, and look how close Wolfie is. There's a fraction, 2 tenths behind, because I noticed that Wolfie's tyres are in much better shape than Nutcap's. Nutcap's front left is in a bad state, really, but Wolfie's is much better. So now he's all over the back of him, and I think we're going to see a pass here. He's coming side by side. He's almost in there. Has he got in? Oh, it's going to be very close. They're almost side by side. Yeah, there they are. And he comes over the left-hander. He's going to watch the wall on the right, and he just gives it back to Nutcap. But look at that. There's nothing but a cigarette paper between them, between 3rd and 4th, and they're coming into the bus stop now. Who will break first? Nutcap is kind of closing the door a little bit, but leaves just enough space, but he still takes it into the chicane, but it's incredibly close, Sean.
It certainly is, and we've got quite a number of battles going on as well, because VSR Richard is also very close to the back of TNR Deacon. But yeah, Nutcap with some great defence there over VSR Wolfie. He's certainly not going to make it easy for Wolfie today, but certainly Wolfie, we know he's the toughest of competitors too, and he is not going to leave Nutcap alone for a second. Then we've got Giller just behind. In fact, yeah, Kennel's up 1 position, then into 6th position. Wolfie as well, look, he's still very close to Nutcap, so I literally don't know where to go in the grid right now, because yeah, VSR Wolfie, he literally is he's moved to the inside. I think Nutcap just about covering it off. So yeah, Wolfie, I don't know if he's going to think of the bigger picture, because they're only 2.6 seconds off of the leaders here, so maybe thinking, do you know what, I'll go for the move if possible, but like try not to lose too much time to the front runners. So Wolfie does get a good exit though. Looks like he's got the overspeed to Nutcap. Nutcap is going to give him the inside line. VSR Wolfie surely is going to take 3rd position away from Nutcap, and he does. Nutcap gets earlier on the brakes to get a better run out of turn number 1. And it looks like Nutcap has got a brilliant run up the hill. Maybe too much of a good run though, because I think he just had to back off, which will will stop him from getting the overspeed as we approach the bus stop chicane. Unless Nutcap goes for a late dive down the inside. The Nord so tight between the two of them, but just about got on the anchors in time to safely get through into the chicane. And then also behind as well, we're very close between Giller and Kennels for P5 and P6 at the moment. And VSR Richard looks like he's already made the move on Deacon. So we have a brand new race leader in this race. VSR Richard knows he has to pull out all the stops if he is going to go for the title here, with Deacon with a commanding lead at the top of the championship. So I have saved the replay. I'm going to see if we made it in time for the replay. So there was Deaky had a moment there on the outer loop. VSR Richard down the inside, sweeps in front of Deacon and moves into the race lead.
That's a brilliant move by Richard there, absolutely fantastic. It's great to see he's been going at it as much as he can. He's getting closer and closer, and one little mistake and he manages to get through, and now he's pulled out about 4/10 of a lead. But will Diggy come back to see if he could retake that lead? But what a fantastic race so far.
Yes, indeed, and literally we focus on one battle and then there's a changing of positions behind. So something I have noticed now is that Penny Potato has fallen back slightly down into P9, so it is literally like musical race positions right now. They are literally changing seats on a lap-to-lap basis, and yes, early Penny Potato still trying to stay to the back of those drivers. Savvy, 1.6 seconds is the gap now to the pack in front. Captain Slow, you can see with the damage that it's really starting to hurt him now. 2.5 seconds is the gap between both teammates, and then Ray Carter 1.5 seconds down in P12, and then 30 seconds to Puma Bridges because he's already made his pit stop to get onto them racing medium tyres. So maybe Puma Bridges deciding on the two-stopper. We'll have to see if that works out for him, but 30 seconds adrift of Ray Carter right now. Let's go back to the leaders then. VSR Richard with a 1 second lead over TNR Deacon, and actually VSR Wolfie has caught to the back of Deacon in third position right now, 3/10 down on TNR Deacon. So things are starting to close up for the top three drivers, with Wolfie on a bit of a charge right now. And look at Deacon's tyres. Holy moly, TNR Deacon's front left tyre has been torn to shreds. It is crazy when you look at everybody else. VSR Richard, you know, you could say that he's also pushed them front tyres quite a bit, but TNR Deacon is struggling, and he is coming into the pit lane now from second position to get off them worn soft tyres. So VSR Wolfie will inherit second position now. Nutcap into third, Giller into fourth, VSR Kennels into fifth, VSR Fish also up another position into sixth, and Deacon is falling back with Penny Potato also in the pit lane from ninth position. Savvy and Captain Slow and Ray Carter all deciding to come in to change off. Oh my god, look at Ray Carter's tyres, nothing on the front left. How do you do that after 10 laps, you?
It's incredible. But I suppose it's more than a slick. It's barely being held together. But they've come in, they've done their pit stop, and what are they going to do? Are they going to go on to, it looks like Planet Potatoes, he's gone on to the mediums, and we'll wait to see as they come out of the pits exactly what tyre. Yes, they have gone on to the mediums to get that tyre out of the way, but will they just stick to the one stop? Or will it be a two-stop? Will they try something a bit different? But they're going to lose a bit of time maybe if they do. But wow, it's all happening, and very, very close indeed, but great fun to watch.
Indeed, and Ray Carter has picked up a 3-second penalty for cutting the pit lane line. Puma Bridges did have the overspeed as well to move up into 12th position. Ray Carter, he's going to have to serve that 3-second penalty at some point in this lap. So, yeah, Ray Carter, where he was looking pretty decent at one point, is all the way at the back of the grid now. So it is all changed as now we've got the two VSR drivers at at the top end of the grid now. We wonder whether or not the undercut is going to work for the likes of TNR Deacon. Nightcap is trying to fight off VSR Kennels then for that 4th position. Kennels swarming all over him like a bee to honey right now. So Kennels looks like he's sizing up an opportunity on Nightcap for turn 1 on lap 11. Is he going to be able to make it stick or not? It's looking like he will do, but will Nightcap come fighting back? That is the question, because it looks like he gets a great run and tries to perform the El Switchy Road, but I don't think 2 will go into 1 in with these cars going up the hill and through the right and left hand kick. So Nightcap did back off, and I think that was the clever thing to do, as VSR Kennels does take that 3rd position away from him. And yeah, Kennels actually doing really well on the tyre wear. Nightcap is the one that is really suffering with the front tyres. I mean, them soft tyres are screaming for dear life. And yeah, the gap now is 7/10 of a second. So Kennels, oh, he's gone deep. He's gone deep into the chute. And luckily doesn't cost him too much time, because I don't think Nightcap can get any more out of his tyres. But it looks like Kennels is really pushing the limits here, and it looked like he went a little bit deep, but no answer from Nightcap, as he's really struggling to keep that car on the circuit. So yeah, Nightcap I think definitely will be coming in at the end of this lap. Kennels, I mean, he's got in. Oh, he might have gone a little bit wide. Has that picked up? Has he picked up a penalty? I think he may have just about got away with it by a pixel. I have to say, his Kennels goes a little bit squirrely on the exit. But yeah, Nightcap, I think there's nothing left on them soft tyres. So surely he'll be pitting at the end of this lap. He'll have to be very, very careful on the entrance to the pit lane, not cut them lines, because he may, oh, he might have picked up a 3-second. I don't know. As Fish follows in behind him in 5th position. I'm not 100% sure if Nightcap will get that 3-second or not. VSR Richard has made his pit stop then, and he has been released in P7, but he knows that we've got Nightcap and Fish who are just about going to get released. We'll see if Nightcap has picked up that 3-second or not. It remains to be seen. Pellet Potato P9 as well. Is he going to get in front as Nightcap gets released out on circuit? We're going to find out as he gets released. Deacon up into P6 then, and looks like Nightcap did get away with it. So released on circuit into P8 as Pellet Potato speeds past him into 7th position. So Deacon, the undercut didn't work for him, because VSR Richard has a 1.2 second lead over him in 5th position, but we still got the 4 drivers in front that's still yet to pit, Hugh.
Absolutely fantastic. And Wolfie has got 2.7 second lead. I've been watching him. His tyres have been in really good condition. They're nowhere near burnt out, but he's almost out of fuel. So I think he's going to have to come into pits either on this lap or possibly next one. I think it will probably be this one. But he's got a 2.7 second lead, which is fantastic over Galara Brown. And it looks like what kind of time will they have over the others when they come out of the pits? But a great drive by Wolfie, and he's now pulled out nearly 3 seconds. So even though his tyres are just about done and it's out of fuel, he's gone over that line quite a bit. We'll have to see what happens there.
Oh, that is touch and go, Hugh. I mean, literally, TNR Nutcap just about got away with it, but that one there, it looks like, I don't know. Hopefully, for his sake, it's not a problem, as the 4 drivers actually come in to the pit lane. All VSR drivers with Richard. He should now inherit the race lead, but the gap between VSR Richard and Deacon has come down to within a second now. So Deacon is starting to home in on VSR Richard, and it's definitely going to be interesting in the second half of this race on how this is going to be decided. VSR Wolfie is released on circuit into 3rd position, 2.5 seconds down on TNR Deacon then. So Deacon in that comfortable position where he can just focus on the driver in front. That is, of course, Richard. Richard knows he needs this race victory if he's got any chance of trying to catch Deacon in the title hunt. But Deacon certainly in a great position here, because he is leading the championship by 24 points. Now, the drop round will come into play after this race, so we don't 100% know in the certainty of what drop rounds are taken away and how that decides the championship, but certainly Deacon in a fantastic position with one race to go. That is if he remains in second position, of course. VSR Wolfie, though, 2.6 seconds down on him in P3. Giller is 2.3 seconds down, and look at the battle behind VSR Kennels and Panic Potato side by side. Panic Potato should have the inside line, but Kennels has got the nose in front. Oh, as Kennels goes a bit sideways as he got late on the brakes there, and it's looking like Kennels is under serious pressure from Panic Potato. Nutcap also just behind in a 7th position. So Panic Potato, as nicknamed the Minister of Defence, really trying to play mind games with Kennels, trying to get into his head to force a mistake on the VSR driver of Kennels, as Kennels just scrapes the wall. And wow, Panic Potato also just behind him with Nutcap did get the overspeed, takes the inside line because Panic Potato also hit the wall there, so we may need to have a look on the replay there. But yeah, certainly a little bit scruffy between the two TNR drivers, duking it out for that 6th position. Nutcap trying to use the overspeed as well. I will look on the replay shortly because it is very, very tight between the 3 drivers, with Panic Potato all over the back of Nutcap, but I think he's going to work in tandem with his teammate, with VSR Kennels, like I say, just in front of them in 5th position. Really wants to get a good exit out of the inner loop onto the outer loop. I'm going to quickly have a look on the replay and see exactly what happened there. I think it was Nutcap that was just behind as well, so let's look on Nutcap's viewpoint. And yeah, Kennels went wide. Panic Potato also hit the wall as well, and that is why Nutcap was able to get the move done and try to catch up with VSR Kennels. So let's get back on board with them now, because VSR Kennels, like we mentioned, seriously under pressure from TNR Nutcap right now, with Panic Potato again, you know, there in the background. Should Nutcap make a mistake? Oh, Nutcap got a good run on Kennels, but he will put his car on the inside to not allow Nutcap through. And oh my god, it's so tight right now. It is so tight. What is going to happen? What is going to happen here? Will Nutcap be able to psych out VSR Kennels and take that 5th position away from him? We're going to have to wait and see as Kennels goes sideways yet again. That would have lost him a bit of speed, but Nutcap not able to capitalise on it, and will settle in 6th position. Panic Potato up the inside of Nutcap. Oh, there's contact between Panic Potato and Kennels as well. And yeah, we're going to save the replay, and let's have a look at it now. So let's. Oh my God, it is all kicking off right now. The SMA never fails to disappoint on the entertainment. So here was Panic Potato up the inside of TNR Nutcap. Kennels was taking his normal line. Panic Potato late on the brakes, hits Kennels, and there was Nutcap up the inside to take full advantage up into P5. Kennels rejoins with in P6, and Panic Potato unfortunately causing a bit of a fracas there, and will be in 7th position. But yeah, Hugh, I mean, I said before the program I starting to struggle with my voice, and the SMA boys are not helping me here.
No, they certainly aren't. But what we're getting is a fantastic race, and well done for Nutcap, because he was in the right place at the right time and got those 2 places in one go, and is now just under a second ahead of Kennels. But they've really got to think about the cars in front, though, because they don't want to get too far behind. They're over 10.5 seconds behind the leaders, but the cars in front of initially in front of them are not too far away, just a few seconds up the road. But what great battles we're getting tonight, and even with Richard and Nicky, there's not much in it at the front, and Wolfie is a little bit further behind. But what a battle. Everywhere you look, there are battles on this SMA Championship race. It's great. Watkins Glen is proving to be a fantastic combination.
It certainly is, and at the sharp end of the grid, we've got VSR Richard still leading the race, but the gaps between P1 and P2 has come down, and at one point, Deaky was literally hitting the bumper of VSR Richard, so they're so close between the two drivers. You love to see it. We have got 12 laps remaining of this race, and certainly we could see a blockbuster finish at the end of round 7. VSR Wolfie has sunk back down 3 seconds behind Deacon now in P3, 1.5 seconds over VSR Giller in P4. Puma Nutcap still holding off VSR Kennels in P5, but the gap is less than 2 tenths of a second as Kennels nearly contact with TNR Nutcap, and just lost a little bit of time as he went a little bit deep into the corner. But yeah, Kennels, you can tell, is really pushing to the absolute limit here. He will need to be careful because Planet Potato not too far behind in 7th position. We look on board with VSR Fish then, who is a nose in front of TNR Savvy in Fish in P8 and Savvy in P9, with VSR Nitro Merlin in 10th position. In fact, we've got a 4-way battle with TNR Captain Slow up the inside of VSR Nitro Merlin. I think there might have been a little bit of contact with Captain Slow going a little bit too late on the brakes, and I think that is why he held up there to allow Nitro Merlin through. Let's have a quick look on the replay there, but I do believe that Captain Slow may have made a little bit of a mistake there. He got a good run out of the toe, and then as we approached the hill, went up the inside, and a little bit of door banging between the two of them. I mean, to be honest, that is a bit of a dodgy one there, because I thought, to be fair, like Captain Slow was close enough to make the move, but nevertheless made contact, and unfortunately, decided to give the position back. But Captain Slow still close to the back of Nitro Merlin in P11, so it looks like he's got a good run up the hill, approaching the inner loop. He's going to take the inside line, and Nitro Merlin is going to get early on the brakes and allow Captain Slow through into 10th position. So finally, Captain Slow does make it work into 10th position. We still got a great battle going on between the three drivers as VSR Kennels goes a little bit wide. The Planet Potato up the inside. That will turn into the outside line for the toe, though. So VSR Kennels knows that and sweeps back in front of him to remain in that 6th position. But it's certainly nip and tug between the two drivers, and Nutcap will be praying that they will be battling away so he can pull away. So as we come down the back straight into the hill, it's looking the same as was before. So VSR Kennels is able to breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief, but knows that one mistake could cost his position to Planet Potato. Let's quickly look on board with the top two. VSR Richard has developed it was 7 tenths of a second down to 6 tenths of a second now. So they are how they are at the moment. Looking at the tyre situation, Deacon's used a little bit more on his front tyre, but I would imagine them tyres will last till the end of the race, and Richard's actually got less fuel as well, so I don't know if Deacon is overfueled or not, but certainly very tight between the two drivers. VSR Wolfie P3 for him, 3.1 seconds is still the gap. So looking at the times, they're very similar. 1 minute 45.3s, 1 minute 45.4s, 1 minute 45.1 and 2 for VSR Richard. So very tight. 3 tenths of a second separating the top three drivers in terms of lap-to-lap basis. VSR Giller is in P4 at the moment, 1.8 seconds cut adrift of VSR Wolfie, so don't rule out VSR Giller at this point. Still only 6 seconds behind in 4th position. We've also got TNR Nutcap, who is still just half a second in front of VSR Kennels, but Kennels seriously under pressure from TNR Panic Potato. So we definitely need to keep a good eye on this one, but hopefully, Hugh, if you could keep an eye on the front runners as well, because I know one mistake could change things at the top end of the grid. But certainly very tight between a lot of the drivers, and then when you look at Savvy as well, I think not sure if Fish has got front aero damage, so this is costing Fish. I don't know whether or not something just happened or not, but yeah, they were quite close together, and now we see the flashing of the red light on the front of that car. So that is a shame from VSR Fish, because Captain Slow just 1.3 seconds behind in 10th position, and Nitro Merlin still sticking to Captain Slow like glue in 11th, with Puma Bridges on his own in P12, and Ray Carter at the back of the grid 4.4 seconds adrift off Puma Bridges in P13. But Q, we're approaching the last 10 laps of this race. What are your thoughts so far?
Oh, it's been absolutely incredible. I'll have to say, from Richard at the start on those soft tyres, he did seem that little bit quicker than Dicky and got past him. But on the medium tyre, he's maybe not quite as quick, because Dicky is just 7/10 behind him and is really measuring himself to Richard in every corner. And I just wonder if he'll try and bring that in and try and make a move. It's very, very close indeed. But we're getting an enthralling race, lots of overtakes all over the place. As you say, it's hard to look as to where you might miss something, but right the way through the field, it's been enthralling battles, and we've got just under 10 laps left to see who will win the race.
Indeed, and certainly maybe the closest battle we've got on show right now is the battle for 5th position, with just not even a second separating the three drivers. So Paddy Potato very close to the back of Kennels, but Kennels goes for the inside move as he gone a little bit deep, because Nightcap is going to try the old switcheroo, and Paddy Potato should also have the overspeed. Kennels trying to show a nose up the inside. He's not going to be able to make that work. Kennels goes sideways as well as we went through into turn number 10, and yeah, VSR Kennels, well, I mean, he's living life on the edge there. Nutcap with a opportunistic move. That is, I always struggle with that word there, but took full advantage of that situation, and Nutcap able to move up into P5. Paddy Potato knows there is a mistake in Kennels in his driving, so he knows that he needs to be on point when Kennels does make a mistake, because surely he'll be able to take that position away from him. I'm sorry to say that, Kennels, and hopefully that doesn't jinx you there, but yeah, Kennels doing a very, very good job at the moment, because he has pulled alongside TNR Nutcap. Is he going to make it work? It's going to have to be brave if he's going to make it work, and they're still side by side. Oh, and Kennels goes wide as he picks up too much of that curb, and I just felt like at that point there, with Nutcap having the inside line, I thought Kennels was going to back out a bit earlier, but he decided to stick his car in the way, and well, it's cost him a couple of positions there. We'll have a look on the replay, because it was super, super tight between the two drivers, so we'll get on board with the TV cam to see if we can pick this up a little bit better. But yeah, you can see them side by side going into the turn, and someone had to back out. Unfortunately, VSR Kennels ran wide, hit Paddy Potato as well, and that put Paddy Potato wide as well, losing time to his teammate, but able to make a position into P6. VSR Kennels with that crucial ever down into P7, and actually Savvy now closing in to VSR Kennels in 8th position. So I feel like I've just jinxed VSR Kennels there, Hugh.
I'm sure there's no commentator's curse at all. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yes, and just as all that is happening, we see that Richard is only 3/10 ahead of Dicky, so it's all happening at the front of the field as well. But what a great battle. I mean, sometimes, yes, a few mistakes are made, but my goodness, they're trying to go for every gap that they can, because that's what the championship means to them. So it's great for us. They're all trying, and we're getting an enthralling race.
We are indeed, yeah. I did say that there could possibly be a blockbuster finish at the end of round 7 here between VSR Richard and Deacon. Now, obviously, in the interviews, I was talking to Richard, and although he was very happy with 2nd position in round 6, but I did say to him, like, you know, if you've got any chance of getting that title win, you would have to at least get the race victory. Well, he's kept his word so far. He has kept his word. Unfortunately, Deacon is the man just behind him. He would have been hoping that Deacon had an off day and some of his VSR drivers could help out. But at the moment, VSR Wolfie is currently 4 seconds down in P3. He'll be praying that Deacon's tyres start to fall off a cliff. I don't think that's going to happen, though, personally. But you know, stranger things do happen, and I don't want to call it because I've already cursed one driver. So... but VSR Killer, yeah, he's in no man's land at the moment. I thought at one point he was going to catch up to the top pack there, but he's 3 seconds down in fourth position. And then we've got Nutcap a further 6.4. TNR Nutcap a further 6.7 seconds behind in fifth position, with VSR Kennels 4.5 seconds down in P6. In fact, there's been a swapping of positions between VSR Kennels and TNR Patent Potato for P6 and P7 respectively. So Patent Potato not really having it his own way right now. We thought that maybe he'll start pulling away, but something has happened whilst we've been looking at the other drivers. So Kennels back up into sixth position. We have said that Kennels has had pace today, but unfortunately, just just a couple of mistakes that have crept in his game, and unfortunately just not able to be in the heady heights of the grid. But yeah, certainly a fascinating battle between VSR Kennels and Panic Potato vying for that sixth position. Then we got Savvy, and Nitro Merlin has just made the move on Savvy to move up into P8 before we got into the bus stop chicane there. So yeah, Savvy, when I said that he was starting to catch up with the pack in front, actually falling back again, you know, privy to the inconsistencies, maybe picking up the odd penalty or two. We'll have a look on that replay and see exactly how that transpired. So it just looks like that Nitro Merlin just had a great run out of turn one. Savvy went a little bit sideways as we hit the brow of the hill, and yeah, it looked like an easy pass in the end for Nitro Merlin, and unfortunately Savvy had to let him through and you know, maybe fight to live another day, maybe try to fight back for that 8th position. But yeah, certainly the race is not letting up across the grid here, Hugh.
Absolutely, and now there's just 2 tenths between first and second place, between Richard and Dickey. So it's all happening at the front as well. But what a battle through the field. The drivers are trying for everything, and as you say, they're still getting places. It's still all to play for right the way through the field, and it's great to see the drivers who maybe had problems at the start. They're still being able to come through and take places. But what a race this is about. This is turning out to be, with just a 1/10.5 between Richard and Dickey as they come into the bus stop chicane. It's really anyone's to call, and definitely Dickey has been better on these medium tyres. So as they're going to race this out to the end, there'll be no more stops. The tyres are good, the fuel is good, but my goodness, Richard is under huge pressure from Dickey now as he comes into the downhill left-hand corner. Very tricky corner, very easy to understeer, and Dickey's almost pushing him out of that corner there as they come into the right-hander, up into this kind of off-camber right, which allows the car, it's very easy again to understeer. If you're on the power too early, it will oversteer, and they come out of that. Richard manages to hold his line there and just pulls out a couple of tenths. But my goodness, Sean, it's incredibly close.
Yeah, it certainly is, and as I mentioned, just one mistake could cost it all here. VSR Richard, you know, he's been leading Dickey for the majority of the race, and I have to say, so far so good from Richard, but this is the testament of you know, these top drivers. Are they able to withstand the pressure? Because you know, it's you know, it only takes a slight bit of I thought Dickey was going to go for the move there, but Dickey very, very close to the back of him now, and he's got a great opportunity here. I think VSR Richard, though, knows that he's not going to go for the inside line there, because, of course, Richard will know that he would have had the slipstream up the hill, but Deacon does get a good run, and maybe too good of a good run there, because he had to back off there. So VSR Richard able to keep his nose in front. He will know that Deaky is there. So VSR Richard has shown the outside line. So Deaky goes up the inside and he will move up into the race lead. And a little bit of a strange manoeuvre there really from Richard, because I really thought he was going to take the super defensive line into the inner loop, but allows Deaky the space down the inside, and we've had a changing of positions, Hugh.
Wow, so Deaky goes back into first place. It did certainly look like, I think maybe Richard thought he was just not going to be able to defend that, and so it was probably safer to allow Deaky through, perhaps to maybe kind of stay with him and maybe try and come back at him, because there's only half a second in it, and that could easily come down. But Deaky has been very good on these mediums and really showing great pace, and there's only 5 laps to go, including this one. So will Richard be able to close that gap up again, or will Deaky now pull away? But a great move. It shows that after all that pressure, eventually one little mistake and Deaky has managed to get into the lead.
Yeah, as I said to you, very, very strange, because I thought that Richard would have just defended hard on the inside line, and Deaky knows that there's a risk being on the outside line that he might have been afforded the space, but trying to hang it around the outside in a chicane, not the easiest of tasks. We know that Deaky has got supreme pace, but with Richard allowing Deaky through, he may have just handed the championship to Deaky, because that is all Deaky needs. He just needs that one opportunity, and he will take it, and certainly he has taken it. And look at the gaps now. It's about a second between the two drivers now. So Deaky is starting to streak away, and certainly. Look, I'm a little bit speechless at the moment, Hugh. We have got 3.5 laps remaining. So anything can happen still. But yeah, certainly advantage to Deaky.
I think his tyres are definitely better than Richard's. There's not a fraction in it, but Leviti has made a very good comment there on YouTube. He says Deaky got bored and decided to go for the move. But he's certainly on better tyres. But certainly it was building up. You could see him getting close. He still takes a bit of grass and runs a bit wide there as we ride on board with Deaky just now. But my goodness, it's now he's got a second ahead. So can Richard do something in the last few laps? Can he bring that gap down again? What's going to happen? Or is it just going to go Deaky's way? But it's been very close so far.
And we have got a bit of a battle brewing up in the midfield pack as well, because it was very close between TNR Paddy Potato and VSR Kennels. However, Kennels just picked up a half-second penalty. VSR Nitro Merlin also had a half-a-second penalty, and now we got Xavier Unchained, who didn't pick up a penalty. He is within about 1.5 seconds of the drivers in front. So we'll see if he is able to claw that gap. But one thing for certain, VSR Nitro Merlin with really good tyre wear, really good tyres. He's really preserved them tyres there. VSR Kennels as well doing a good job on them tyres. 0.8 of a second is separated between TNR Paddy Potato and VSR Kennels. We will look at the top two, but it is 1.1 seconds, so the his hopes of the title for season 2 is evaporating for VSR Richard then. And I'm just kind of looking aboard with the fuel as well, because Richard has got less fuel. We know that it's roughly about 3 to 4% of fuel per lap. So generally speaking, when the emergency light starts flashing, you've got 10% of fuel. So by my calculations, by the time we get to lap 27, if it's still not flashing, then they should have enough fuel. So TNR Deacon, 1.1 seconds is the lead. He is edging away, and VSR Richard, he's getting out of that slipstream range, to be honest. So VSR Richard really struggling now with VSR Wolfie just a half a second off of his teammate now. So he's really started to really close in to his teammate with some very consistent times of the early 1 minute 45s. But Richard, you can see, look, 46s, 45.9. Deaky, mid 45s for him. So certainly looking stronger at this point of the race. Wolfie, with this type of times coming in, then surely he's going to take that second position away from VSR Richard. VSR Giller is in fourth position, kind of in no man's land at the moment in P4, but it's been a great performance from him with TNR Nutcap in fifth position. Then we've got TNR Panic Potato, who has been closed in by VSR Kennels, who's been looking strong all race here, and surely is he going to take up the inside line? It looks like he is, so he's going to draw up alongside Panic Potato. Actually got early on the brakes, but Panic Potato runs a little bit deep, expecting Kennels to take the inside line, and Kennels is going to power past Panic Potato. Panic Potato knows that you have to lift on the entrance to the the sort of normally flat out section for other cars, but not in these cars. So VSR Kennels with a nose in front is going to take up the inside line and not make the same mistake he did about 10 laps ago. So he does keep his car in front of Panic Potato to stay in sixth position. Panic Potato though it looked like he was closing in, but VSR Kennels able to get more speed on the exit, and Panic Potato will have to be wary of VSR Nitro Merlin, who's just behind him with that half a second penalty for Panic Potato as well, and that could be costly for TNR Panic Potato, where he will be serving that penalty right now, and Nitro Merlin surely is going to take that seventh position away from him, Hugh.
Yes, and Wolfie's just gone into second place. He's just overtaken Richard. So we've got a change in the top three.
Okay, let's have a look on that replay.
As they start their final lap.
Yeah, just on the exit of on the hill. So VSR Wolfie, able to take that second position from VSR Richard, and it's looking ominous now for TNR Deacon, who is in the race lead. VSR Richard knows that he needed at least a second, well, he needed the race win, let's be honest. He needed the race win and keep Deacon behind him if he had any chance. But with Deacon now in the lead of the race on the final lap of round 7 at Watkins Glen, in these, and I've forgotten the name of these cars, if someone can remind me.
Rampage.
It's the Rampage, yes. Rampage, yes. So I was thinking of the Maverick, but that is next week. But no, this is the Rampages. And Deacon could be classed the SMA Season 2 champion if he's able to hold his nerve for half a lap, which, as I say, I've barely seen a mistake from Deacon all season. Prior to this race, he had already won 3 races this season, 2 in a row as well. So, with just 3 corners remaining, TNR Deacon is in prime position to take the championship. Now, I don't want to completely confirm that he's taken the championship, but I'm pretty clear here. 4 race wins from this season as we come through the penultimate corner and onto the last corner. It's going to be TNR Deacon that wins round 7 at Watkins Glen and could be crowned champion of SMA Season 2. So congratulations to TNR Deacon, who finishes ahead of VSR Wolfie in P2 and VSR Richard on the last step of the podium in P3. VSR Giller is going to finish in 4th position in front of TNR Nutcap in 5th position. 4.3 seconds in front of VSR Kennels, who is just about going to finish in front of Nitro Man in P7 and Panic Potato in P8. Very close end to the 3 drivers, with Savvy Unchained finishing just in front of his teammate TNR Captain Slow for P9 and P10. Puma Bridges is going to come across the line in 11th position ahead of VSR Fish in 12th position. Ray Carter is going to finish in 13th with nothing on their medium tyres. But Hugh, what a fantastic race we've just seen. What are your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely magnificent. The racing was so close all the way through. Great battles, great overtakes, and the drivers pushed to the limit, making the absolute most of their tyres, the fuel, everything they had, and a brilliant race. And Dickey, who did well from the start, but Richard battled in, got that lead, but Dickey was better on those medium tyres and was able to almost do what Richard normally does by getting his tyres absolutely right. But Dickey timed it to perfection and can make more time on those mediums, and a well-deserved win for him. But a fantastic race. The drivers have really stood out tonight with a brilliant performance.
Yeah, certainly has indeed. We'll go for that quick advert, and then when we come back, give you the results from this round. Back in a second. SMA is brought to you by TGSC Cape Town Golf Academy, Rights Recruitment, DC Designs, and Coach Dave Academy, our official sponsors of SMA Season 2. Okay, so we're going to call it provisional race results, but certainly a phenomenal job from TNR Deacon, who records his 4th victory of the season, who saved his best performance till the final laps there, manages to hold off VSR Wolfie, who made a late charge towards the end of the race. He finishes in 2nd position. VSR Richard gets the last step on the podium in P3. I feel like he's handed the championship to Deacon there, but we'll await the thoughts of our podium finishers in due course, with VSR Giller finishing in 4th position. Then it was TNR Nutcap who rounds up our top 5 positions. Then 6th position went to VSR Kennels with a very up and down race. I have to say, with VSR Kennels, he certainly brought the drama and the excitement today, and I think he'll be happy with that 6th position, with VSR Nitro Merlin just finishing just behind him in 7th position, providing that great late form in the championship. With TNR Panic Potato, surprised to see him down there, but finishes just behind in 8th position, and yeah, he's going to be ruined the chances he's had in this race. And then in 9th position was Savvy Unchained. Again, you know, it looked like he was starting to close in with the pack in front, but again, maybe a few too many mistakes. He had to settle for that 9th position, with TNR Captain Slow rounding up our top 10. Then it was Puma Bridges in 11th position, with VSR Fish in 12th, and then Ray Carter at the back of the grid by some margin as well. He finishes in 13th position. But what a fantastic race we have literally just witnessed. We will be back. We'll be going for a short break. When we come back, we'll get the thoughts of Deacon, VSR Wolfie, and VSR Richards. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. SMA is brought to you by Simulator Cave, Postnet Midstream, and Slayer, our official sponsors for SMA Season 2.
Let's take a look at round 6 of SMA Season 2 Road Rage. This Australian affair started with Deacon getting right to it.
As Deacon goes around the outside and moves past Nutcap into 1st position, Panic Potato will be on the inside of Nutcap. Nutcap not with the best of starts, but he has got nose in front, and Panic Potato will tuck back in into P3.
A lap later, Nutcap will come right back at him.
Nutcap, oh, it looks like Nutcap is going to take the inside line. Deacon is going to afford him the space, and Deacon is going to tuck back in 2nd position. So Nutcap is the new race leader.
Dana alerted us to some big news.
P7, we have Captain Slow go into the grass. We got overtaken by Savvy and Kennels.
Deacon's moment shook up the top 3.
So the gap is just around a second. Oh, as it looks like Deacon made a bit of a mistake through the corner there. Struggled to get the traction down. Panic Potato thought, right, we need to take the inside line to move up into 2nd position.
And Savvy's penalty opened up the battle for the midfield.
Oh, and Savvy just picks up a 1-second penalty.
Penalty. Sorry, go ahead.
Wow. So Savvy, yeah, just picking picking up a penalty at the wrong time, and that means he's going to have to serve that penalty at this midpoint of the straight. It's the sort of the worst place to pick up a penalty. So JDJ is going to power pass. Captain Slow is also going to power pass, I do believe. Yes, he does. Yet Savvy left in the background, loses 2 positions from that mistake.
A drama fest formed in lap 11.
Oh, as it looked like it was a fish that struggled to get on the power there, and now under increasing pressure from the 3 drivers behind, the gap come dwindling down as we approach the chase. Surely Savvy will get later on the brakes, make it stick as well. Oh, he goes a little bit wide though. Oh, it's touch and go.
Oh,
and
no.
he's struggling to keep hold of that car as well as Captain Slow tries to get around him as well. We may have to look on the replay of that action there, because that was very scribbly, as Giller has made up 2 positions to move up into P11, with Ray Carter coming into the pits from P9 there. Certainly at the back end of the grid, it's a drama fest right now.
The drama continued on lap 19 when Richard began his final push.
Very, very close now. Richard really on fire at the moment. The gap is 0.4 of a second and closing. It looks like Richard is going to try and size up an opportunity on the mountain. Oh, no. Maybe he's going to go up the inside then. And looks like he's going to make it work, but it does mean that Nightcap is going to have the slipstream to Richard in front then. So Nightcap, of course, on the lesser grippy tyre on the mediums as we go through to turn 2. Nightcap is going to try it around the outside, but that is not the optimal line, and he had to back off, scrapes the wall on the outside, and Richard can breathe a sigh of relief as he now takes 2nd position.
As usual in SMA, things ended with the bang. Dana, Flawed, bring us home.
The gaps.
Oh, Nutcap!
Wow. Well, I was just about to say that this race is starting to widen up now, but Nightcap has just made a hell of a mistake there. 3 wins and 2 race victories in a row in this championship. As he comes around the final corner, it's going to be TNR Diki that wins round 6 at Bathurst in the Amuse S2000 cars, with VSR Richard coming across the line in 2nd position. Puma Nightcap is going to round off our podium with his first podium for TNR to come across the line in P3. VSR JDJ will finish in 4th position, with TNR Panic Potato in 5th. SMA is brought to you by TGSC Cape Town Golf Academy, Rights Recruitment, DC Designs, and Coach Dave Academy, our official sponsors of SMA Season 2. Okay, we are back. And we have got the 3 drivers waiting in the background. I mean, it was... I think they needed a break as well. I'm pretty sure they were sweating in their chairs. It was one of the best races we've seen for sure. And it's going to be interesting to get their thoughts. Now, I don't know if Richard is back from his mini break. If he's not, then we will come to VSR Wolfie first, who finished in 2nd position. So, Wolfie, what a great comeback that was from you. You must be absolutely delighted with that 2nd position.
How's it, guys? Yeah, I'm very chuffed. I didn't have a very good quality session. There was about 2 or 3 tenths still on the table there. But, started off well down the grid and had a very good first lap. And, it allowed me to build from there, and at the end have a good result. So now I'm very chuffed with the way it turned out. Maybe 1 or 2 laps extra and myself and Diki could have had a bit of fun, but it wasn't meant to be tonight.
Well, I mean, it's not the first time that you've said that, Wolfie, about not performing in qualifying, but certainly, your race pace was absolutely fantastic. Now, maybe a little bit of an unusual question, Wolfie, but we know that you was on a fishing trip. So did that do the world of good for you? And also as well, did you catch a big fish?
Yeah, no, thanks. I think the break did me well. It was good to get away for a bit. I didn't practice really for this race. I had one race last night and then today we raced. So I'm happy with that. The fishing went well. It was about 100 teams that entered and we finished 11th, I think. So we caught a lot of good marlin and released them. So no, it was a good week all in all. And this is a great way to just get back in the swing of things and getting a podium. I'm very happy with that, just to get the championship up and running again. I think I fell down to third, so I needed some good points tonight, and I'm happy with the result.
Yeah, no, you should really be happy with the result. Can I just ask you as well, Wolfie, so just, going into this race, and obviously you mentioned about qualifying quite low down in the grid, but obviously knowing that the times were so close together, so was you pretty confident going into the race on clawing back positions, and tell us about your strategy as well. How did you kind of work your way through the grid?
No, when I saw it was so close, I was actually concerned because I thought that we were going to be so competitive on pace that you won't be able to overtake, because this car and the combo and the tire wear doesn't really allow for battling. The moment you start battling, you destroy your tires. So for me, it was just to keep it calm and just really focus on the tire management. But then on lap 1, I had a stunk of a first lap. I think I gained 4 or 5 positions on the first lap. So that was brilliant, and then I could really focus just on the tire wear. They actually pulled a bit of a gap on me in those first few laps, but I knew it will come back to me at a later stage, and there at about lap 9 I caught back up to them. So that was working well. I knew the tires was crucial for me to make this work. Even on the mediums, I had to really manage them and just to see if I could catch up late in the race, but it was a little bit too late. But yeah, well done to Deaky and to Richard for having a phenomenal race. They were just too quick at the end for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, you did actually get the second position, Wolfie. So that was a great performance from you, and you certainly you gave us that entertainment, particularly at the end of the race as well. So congratulations to you. I'm going to hand you over to Hugh. I'm sure he's dying to ask some vital questions towards you. So Hugh, if you want to take it away.
Yeah, well done, Wolfie. A fantastic second place there. It all seemed to come together at the end. And I thought, as you say, maybe with another lap, you may have even had Dicky kind of being pushed there to see if you could have got that win. But what was it in that second stint that gave you that great pace?
No, I think I had good pace on the mediums. I actually made a mistake on lap 12 before I pitted. I hit the wall going up the hill in the first section, and I lost 2.5 seconds. So I think if that did not happen, I might have been in the mix for the win tonight. But I mean, if this, it's all pie in the sky. You have to actually put the result on the racetrack. So I do think that little bump that I had on the wall messed up my race. But my medium pace was solid right through the stint. It was again just managing the tires to have that good tire at the end and see if I can claw back a bit of time, and it actually worked. It was just there was just that little bit too less, it just needed a little nudge.
Yeah, and even from the start, because I saw you kind of move through the field. You were kind of visible on the screen there as right from the grid start, and you're looking to make places. It looked pretty hectic. Can you describe what that first lap was like?
Yeah, it was very hectic. I must say I'm very lucky, to be honest. I think Captain Slow got off to a bad start in front of me. I didn't really expect it, and I dodged to the inside, and it just put me in the perfect position. It's like it just opened up. And when I went through the first corner, going up the hill, Gila and I think it was Nutcap was side by side, and it just left a big gap for me with momentum to go around the outside. So it was actually a bit lucky on the first lap, but that's part of racing. I'll take it. You still need to put your car in the right place on the track to actually take advantage. So no, it was a good first lap, but it was hectic. Yo, it was action all around. I went so slowly through turn one. I was scared that someone's going to hit me from behind.
Yeah. No, it was fantastic. No, well done. Many congratulations on a well-deserved second place. And I'll hand you back over to Sean.
Okay, and yeah, so obviously we don't 100% know with the standings because of the drop round that comes into play after this round. So, but I could probably say that, you know, going for the title now might be a little bit beyond you now, Wolfie,
Yeah.
but certainly trying to hold on to that podium position. You must be feeling quite confident after today's race.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely confident. I think DK is wrapping up the championship. He's been driving very well. But I must say, if I can get a podium with the little amount of practice I'm able to put in and with the social calendar, to be in or to get a podium position in the championship will actually be a fantastic result. So far, so good. I think I must just try to keep the momentum up. But yeah, thanks for you guys and the stream as always, and thanks for DK and Richard for entertaining race, and well done to them as well.
You're very welcome, and the same goes to you, Wolfie. I mean, you've been fantastic all season, and you know, today was no different. So congratulations on that second position, and definitely look forward to seeing how you get on in the grand finale of SMA Season 2.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. And good luck to all the guys on track.
Yeah, thank you, Wolfie. Take care.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Okay, and I'm hoping we've got our third place finisher back, which was VSR Richard. Richard, are you there? You might be muted if you are listening. And I don't know if he's going to answer. So we're going to go to our race winner then instead. And it was, of course, TNR Deacon with his fourth victory of the season, his third in a row, actually. And yeah, Deacon, I mean, talk about, you know, doing it right at the end. I mean, you know, saving your best performance till the end of the race. How are you feeling after that race victory?
Yeah, no, I think I'm feeling, again, after all these races, it's still a workout, I would say, and it definitely leaves me sweating, you know, afterwards, especially there with Wolfie coming there at the end. But yeah, I think all in all, I'm happy with today's performance.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously knew what was at stake today. I mean, we haven't got complete confirmation that you've won SMA Season 2, but I'm pretty sure if you haven't claimed it today, then certainly you will claim it in the next round. So, yeah, tell us about your race. I mean, so obviously it was so tight in qualifying. I mean, we are talking tenths between everyone in the grid. You know, going into the race, obviously you wasn't starting. No, you was starting from pole position. Sorry, but you know, you knew how tight it was in the grid. I mean, tell us your thoughts at the start of the race. What was your plan?
Well, before the qualifying started, I was doing, I think I was second or something off the pace, whatever it was. And then when quali started, and then boom, and there I'm first. So I don't know what happened between those couple minutes. So yeah, I managed to stick it on pole as far as the race goes. Definitely was looking behind me. Just in terms, because like you said, it was quite a close field. I would say going into the race as well, I was definitely looking at the two-stop, you know, and it's just maybe to do something different. But as the laps continued, I had a look at the track map, and then the field was just way too close. So I was like, two-stop is just not going to work. And then yeah, my first stint done, what, I don't know, 8-9 laps on the soft or something, but then my tires were messed up. And then yeah, coming into the pits, I thought the VSR guys were on like a medium or something, because they had quite good pace towards the end of their stint there. And then I went on to the mediums, and then Richard was behind me, and then he went past me. But I knew from that point on, I think it was definitely a race where your tires were very crucial. So having that in mind, I just stuck it behind Richard there and just saved some tires, take it easy. And then I think lap 25 or 24 or something, I could see Richard was struggling a bit. And then I took that opportunity to, go past. And then from there onwards, I was going full blast, pedal to the metal. That's the saying.
Yep.
So I was going full blast at the end. Also didn't want to take too much out of my tires because Wolfie was coming. So I think I played the mind games, let's say, quite well. Just saving tires behind Richard was, I think, what won me the race in the end.
Yeah, I need to ask actually then, Deacon. So obviously it was very close between you and Richard for quite a number of laps. But as we approached the inner loop or the bus stop chicane, Richard was in front and he had the inside line. You was just behind him. Was you quite surprised when he pulled to the outside to leave that gap for you to then dive down the inside and take the race lead?
I think coming up to the bus stop, I got a better run coming up to the bus stop, and then because he was like struggling and whatever, and then I was like, let me just go past and go from there and see what happens. I thought maybe we would have defended it because Wolfie was behind, 2-3 seconds behind. So I thought maybe you'd like back me up into Wolfie and then turn into like a 3-way fight type of thing. But no, that didn't happen. So I took the opportunity and I got past. And again, I think that's what won me the race.
Yeah, I think that definitely was the crucial part because you never looked back and you got the race victory. And as I say, we're awaiting confirmation for the SMA Season Championship to be handed to you. But huge congratulations on that race victory today. And if you are definitely crowned as champion, then congratulations to you on that as well, DK. I'm going to hand you over to Hugh. Hugh, have you got any questions for DK?
Yes, Deacon, many congratulations on a fantastic race and a well-deserved victory. It was very interesting watching you at the start because Richard seemed to have a little bit more pace on the softs, but then when you changed for mediums, you brought that pace right back and you chased him down and eventually you got it. What was it like getting closer and closer to Richard and eventually getting past him?
Yeah, no, like you said, that's true. My soft stint wasn't the best, but I think coming into the race already, I told myself that I think the medium tire is the race tire. I think the softs wasn't a good tire overall, I would say, because I think coming into most corners you're just like sliding and causing more tire wear and that type of thing. And then the mediums were also like that in the beginning. When you just put the tire on, I think that's just need to get some heat into the tire. But after a couple of laps, then it's fine. And then it's basically just keeping the consistency because I did some practice early on in the week and I was doing 45s or minor 45s consistently. And I think that's what Richard was doing as well. Just getting into a rhythm, I would say, is another thing. And I felt quite comfortable on that tire as well. And I knew it wouldn't, do any funny things entering or exiting a corner. All in all, I was comfortable on the tire, and like I said, saving the tires to the end was also helped quite a lot. So
But just have a quick question: was it when I drove it earlier on today? It seemed like there's quite a bit of weight transfer in that car. How did you find the kind of energy levels from? Was it quite a dodgy car to try and brake in? Did you have to make sure you braked on the straights and not kind of brake round the corners? Because it seemed like it could really kind of the back end wanted to overtake the front. When I tried that, was it a fairly straightforward car to drive?
No, not straightforward. No, I would, but there is a way to drive it, and I think I figured it out. And I think it's a lot to do with how you with your braking and how you modulate your brakes. So, for example, you don't wanna come into a corner and then take your foot completely off the brake. You wanna like keep it like you wanna trail brake like to the last second, because as soon as you let go of the brake, like you said, the rear wants to overtake the front. So I would say a lot of getting comfortable with the car was just learning the car and just braking and being smooth with it was, I think, the key part.
Yeah. Oh, well done. A well-earned second place. It's been an enthralling race for us to watch tonight and to commentate on. So many congratulations on a deserved second place. I'll hand you back over to Sean.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hugh. And yeah, so with the pressure off, I'd say now, DK, obviously going into the last round, have you done any practice ahead of next week's race? Because I have to say it's a bit of a treat for everyone, I think.
No, as usual, I don't know what's coming. What's coming next? So unfortunately, I don't know what to expect. But again, just take it one race at a time and go from there, I'd say.
Okay, well, what I can... the hints I can give you is that the next car has 1,200 brake horsepower. So,
oh my word.
so yeah, you are definitely going to be travelling at some speed, and it's going to be. It's going to be very interesting, but I've just got to give you a big congratulations again for getting the race victory, 4th win of the season. Surely the championship sewn up as well. So congratulations to you, Deacon, and we'll look forward to seeing how you handle next week's car for round 8.
Yeah, it should be fun. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thank you, Deacon. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the thoughts of TNR Deacon. And just lastly, is VSR Richard in the background? I don't think he is. So I think we're going to cut the driver interviews short there. A bit of a shame, really, because obviously it would have been nice to get Richard's thoughts, because it certainly had a very dramatic race, and it is such a great battle between him and TNR Deacon. But shame that we can't get the thoughts of Richard then. Hugh, I mean, some interesting thoughts from the drivers, and it's been a spectacular round 7, hasn't it?
Yeah, we certainly were not let down at all. It was so close from the word go. Some great overtakes, and the pressure that the drivers were putting on each other was really something else. And to be fair, there weren't really, yes, there were a few mistakes here and there, but when we look at the championship contenders, they really pushed like crazy, and they were very consistent, which gave us this fantastic battle at the front. And of course, we had plenty of battles throughout as well. So no, a really good race. I think we've all had excellent value for money. In fact, I was sweating, I think, just as much as I would be if I was racing, trying to keep up with it all going through the field. So no, they did a fantastic job, and many congratulations to them, and especially to Diki, who won that race. That's 4 victories. That's a very, very good performance. And for the final race next week, it's going to be a cracker, I'm sure. But I think everyone has had just huge amounts of excitement and entertainment throughout the series. So many congratulations to everybody involved. It's been an amazing race to commentate on.
It has indeed. Okay, so shall we have a look at what's coming up for round 8 in the grand finale of SMA Season 2? Let's have a look. Oh, and I've already revealed the car there. But coming up next week, we head to the neon-lit highways of the Tokyo Expressway east clockwise for our season finale. Track length is 7.3 kilometers, featuring 12 turns, and they'll be running, as you just saw there, the GAC Maverick. It's the beefiest of all American muscle cars from the Greening Auto Company. Yes, it is the GAC Maverick, sporting a 7-litre engine producing 1,199 brake horsepower at 7,500 RPM and weighing in at 1,633 kilos in this turbocharged front-engined rear-wheel drive machine. Hugh, I mean, it's an absolute fascinating combination. Obviously, you know, your experience is probably racing at the Tokyo Expressway. It's the one with the long straight. With that kind of power in the GAC Maverick, I mean, it is going to be frightening for the drivers, I think.
Absolutely frightening, but I think you're going to have to brake about a mile before the corner because, you know, these cars don't always have the best of brakes. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on, because there's that long straight, that kind of record long straight, and then these very tight kind of uphill kind of cambered right-handers. So that's going to be always carnage when you do it on race day, as they've got this week. But for these cars, I'm sure the drivers will make the most of it. But no, it's going to be a cracker to see how that goes. And yeah, very exciting. And really the speeds will be amazing to watch.
Yeah, it certainly will be. So, guys, even though, you know, it may well be that the championship is sewn up by TNR Deacon, you will not want to miss this one for our grand finale next week. But before we get the thoughts of Hugh, it is definitely... we definitely have to mention our sponsors for SMA Season 2. So the SMA Season 2 is brought to you by Simulator Cave, TGSC Cape Town Golf Academy, Postnet Midstream, Right Recruitment, DC Designs, Coach Dave Academy, and lastly, Slayer Energy. Thank you so much to our sponsors for sponsoring us for the whole of SMA Season 2 Road Rage. Now, please subscribe to our socials at the Sim Motorsport Association on all of our platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, our awesome community on Discord, and subscribe to our channel on TikTok, and of course this very channel on YouTube. Make sure, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button, clicking the bell notification so you don't miss any of our content, and when you're done watching, hit the like button on this broadcast to help with the YouTube algorithm, so it spreads our content across the platform. We fully appreciate you. Now, if you would like to get involved in future championships as a driver in 2026, please contact Robin Williams, our SMA GT7 promoter, for further details. The email links will be in the description below and on our YouTube homepage, and I'm sure people will definitely want to get involved with details to follow soon as well, because a lot of big things for SMA in 2026. Massive thank you also to the SMA Productions and the SMA admin for their tireless efforts as always. So thank you to our amazing moderators of CJ, Double DP, Parquet, Dana and Robin for their interactivity and welcoming all our new viewers in our YouTube chat. Now, SMA is in association with Motorsport South Africa, the only organisation licensed and fully backed by the FIA of all competitive motorsport inside of South Africa. Now, when we come back, we'll get the thoughts of Hugh Hattrick and his driver of the day. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. SMA is brought to you by TGSC Cape Town Golf Academy, Right Recruitment, DC Designs, and Coach Dave Academy, our official sponsors of SMA Season 2. Okay, so we are back, and we're still trying to gather our thoughts, trying to gather our breath back in our lungs as well. And I have to say a huge thank you to you, Mr. Hugh Hattrick, for another sterling job under the mic. I know it's been a while since we had you in the hot seat, but hopefully you've enjoyed yourself today. And who is your driver of the day too?
Well, Sean, it's been an absolute privilege to be in the hot seat and watching a really thrilling race right the way through. And to see Dickie win, that was a fantastic victory, the battle between him and Richard. But my driver of the day goes to Wolfie. I think the way that he was able to come up the field and make those places up and get second place at the end and very nearly caught up with Dickie. I think a couple more laps and who knows, it could have been a different person on the top step of the podium. But no, I think a great performance by Wolfie and to all the drivers tonight, but my driver of the day is Wolfie, and well done to him, and thank you very much for having me tonight, and to everyone who's been watching, thanks very much for all the support as well. It's been great to be back on board.
Yeah, well, it's great. It's definitely great to have you back, Hugh. And what a race that you got yourself involved in. It's there's never a dull moment in SMA, and you certainly saw one of the best races from the SMA season 2. That is for sure. Before you do go though, Hugh, for those that are not aware of Hugh, he runs a brilliant podcast with many guests on his panel discussing everything in the motorsport world, and including the interviews of the drivers from SMA. So, Hugh, tell us about your YouTube channel and what you have planned for the future.
Yes, well, I started interviewing sim racers a number of years ago, people like Super GT and Rory Alexander and Luckie and Tidgney, and from there it's kind of grown. So I've interviewed lots of different racing drivers on the channel, so make sure you have a look at that. There's a long list of interviews, but we're also interviewing for SMA, for all the tiers in the championship. We've done up to tier, I think we're going to be doing tier 4 in the very near future. Robin will be deciding which one will be next, and then every Wednesday night we then interview them. So if you're part of if you're a driver in the tier, then please come along and support us. When you get the chance to come on the interviews, it'd be lovely to have you on board. We're getting to know you all, and we've had some really good laughs talking about the races, the best moves, and all of the goings on of this incredible championship. We've also got our F1 Motorsport podcast every Thursday, which starts at 8 o'clock, so look out for us as well on that. But it's been absolutely brilliant tonight, and they've driven fast and they didn't crash, which is the motto for my channel. But no, thanks very much, Sean. Hopefully we'll have you on the channel very soon as well.
Putting me on the spot there, Hugh, but I'm sure we can make some plans really soon. But yeah, guys, make sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for the Hugh Hattrick channel on YouTube. Make sure you do that so you don't miss any of his upcoming content. It'll be hugely appreciated. And once again, Hugh, thank you so much for joining me today. You've been amazing.
Thank you. Very much appreciated. It's been great fun.
And of course, thank you to everyone that's watched today. Make sure you do hit that like button for us if you did enjoy today's events. And if you are new to the channel, do hit that subscribe button. Again, you will not want to miss the final race we have of this season. It'll be hugely, hugely appreciated. And like I say, I am just absolutely shocked on how great this race has been today. But till next week, we will see you then. So that is round 7 complete, with just the grand finale to decide the championship. Make sure you tune in next week on Monday the 24th of November at 8:45 PM Eastern Africa time to find out which way this could end, with so much on the line for quite a number of the drivers at the sharp end of the standings. We will also be deciding the winner of our Slayer livery competition, so good luck to all our finalists. And make sure you keep supporting us here in the SMA by liking our broadcast, and if you're new to us, hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all our weekly content. We hugely appreciate you. I've been your main host, Flawed Genius Gaming signing out for another week. So thank you for watching. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now. SMA, growing the sport together.